You?
You do.
No, I was saying you do.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
thanks. Your hair looks so red.
Yeah,
You
it's
do
nice,
mine.
huh?
Yes. Alrighty. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Rake Appreciation Society for our summer session. Thank
Hello.
you for bearing. Yes. Hello. Hi, Crystal. Hello. Sorry, I'm like in the
No,
zone
I
ready for it
I was
today.
just saying hi too.
Yes, of course. I mean, I wouldn't do it without you, so very happy you're here. Thank you for accommodating us for a different time today. So, welcome to the playback crew. I'm sure a lot of you will probably watch this on our uh, playback. So, hopefully, you'll still comment on what you thought of the books. I'll definitely interact with you guys there and send some stuff to Crystal when I see in the comments. But I know we got some people overseas here too, so that's great. Hey, girl.
Yeah, I bet we do catch some of those people that
Yeah, and of course, Linda's here. Yay, we're
Linda.
so happy to see you.
Yes.
So this will be good, but we will get right into it because I don't know about you, but I have a lot to talk about. So let's start with my Highland Rogue because I mean I just have a little less to say about this. Also, I forgot a lot about it because I read it like 6 weeks ago already.
Yeah. I just finished it today a
I
couple
know we
hours ago.
procrastinate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I procrastinate a lot, but we joke that there's a reason we wait till the end because if we want the freshest conversation, I usually need to read it the week before.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
like that. But um, oh well, thank you. Yes, you're watching my TBR. That's great. But
Oh.
yeah, well, if you just finished it, what was your overall rating for that one?
Oh, I feel a little torn about it, for a couple of reasons. So my rating is going to seem harsh, but I gave it 2 stars.
Yeah. What about who all like read this one? Who's watching? I will tell you in just a second, but I don't think you're being too harsh. I'll just tell you that right away. So, um, I don't think so. And Goodreads doesn't think so either because I think it has like a 3.4 over there.
I saw
So,
it was pretty low. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
and it 2020 was 6 years ago, but I'm like, oh, it only came out in 2020. I'm like, it's kind of getting
I
to be a long time ago.
know. I know. Yeah. Yeah, I myself gave it a 3 star. Um, and as we go through the questions I always ask, I'll bet
Mhm.
it'll stand out why it
Yeah.
got more than that. There's
Yeah.
a few specific reasons that I didn't, and none of them really had to do with the romance at all. So yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I gave it 3. Yeah, we might as well. Let's see if Linda, what did you rate it? How some other people who are watching what you rated it
Yeah, I
before
know
I
I know
start
Linda
ranting?
read it, so I'm really
Yeah.
curious what she thought about it.
Yeah,
She's
because I mean, there's a few real specific reasons why I was just like, what is going on here? Because when I first finished it, I was thinking higher of it because I
yeah.
was like, that's kind of unique. But then when I was fleshing out my thoughts, I'm like, but what's the romance in this story?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I really could see this playing out as I could see this playing out as a movie, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, in fact, there was a movie when I was young called The Inheritance that was a um, it was a direct to film TV movie that I had seen, not TV, a direct to whatever. My grandma got it in the box of movies when I was a kid, and it was basically this film, but it was the opposite of like where it was the girl
Yeah.
instead who lost the inheritance. So it was a high 3 or low 4. He was not a rogue. Exact. So true, Linda. Like, what was he doing? He. I don't think he was a rogue either. I think that is a buzzword name, is what that was. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't, and you were looking forward to my review of my TBR. So, oh, I don't think you missed out, my friend. I don't think you
Yeah.
missed out on this one. I'm a, yeah, I'm a little bummed that this was the Karen Rainey that I picked. I mostly picked it because I thought the cover was pretty. I'm not gonna
It is
lie, and
pretty.
it was the yeah, and it was the first
Hmm.
in the series, and I was like, oh, this looks fun. but I've read better Karen Rainey before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's keep moving on because I want more time to talk about the second book. So let's push through this one. The best part of the book for you. What was the best thing about it?
The best part. Hmm. Honestly, I feel like there was a little bit of like I have a lot of complaints about this one,
Yep.
but there
Yep.
was a little bit of like that period of yearning when they were separated. I felt like that was teased out really effectively, so I was excited for them to like get back
Right.
together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I that
Mm-hmm.
actually that was better than when they actually met up again 5 years later.
Yeah. 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 The anticipation of it. You
Yeah.
know what I called that? It's so funny because we basically said the same thing, and you're gonna laugh when I say this. I said initially this gave, and this is the reason I picked this book, by the way, besides that it was Karen Rainey and it was the first in the series. When I read the blurb, this gave me, again, the magic vibes, is why I
Yeah.
picked it.
Yeah.
So the best part was the anticipation that I thought this
Hmm.
would be like, again, the magic.
Yeah.
And then it, again, there very specifically were some things that let me down besides the fake incest plot part.
Yeah.
But there was just other parts that let me down for it being like that as well. But
Mhm.
the best part, yeah, was the anticipation that it would be
Yeah.
better than it was.
Well, and
So yeah.
like I mean that's usually my favorite part of any story is like
Mm-hmm.
whether it's romance or whatever, but specifically when it's romance, when they're apart because for forced reasons they had to be apart. There was some reason we don't know what those reasons are yet. And
Right.
they're even like, okay, 5 years have passed, they're still thinking about each other. And so then I
Right.
think this is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
so good when they get together. And then
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't. So
Yeah,
I love the promise of that, but it didn't really deliver.
for sure. Linda said, I would much rather read a book about Lauren's
Oh,
recovery from her awful life, but I think this was her last book. She must have intended to do a sequel, but she passed away. Oh yeah. This
I
was
when I
I did
yeah.
notice it was a book one. I didn't realize this
Mhm.
was the last one.
It's so funny because I was looking up like about the author today, and when I was looking it up, it was like, oh yeah, this was her last book, and then she died shortly after. And then you
Dang
just
it.
literally said it's the first in a series. I'm like, oh good, we'll try the others. Like I didn't make that connection, but
Yeah.
I had heard that this was her last one. Yeah.
Dang it. I really wish I wouldn't have picked this one then because I literally just I should have picked a different one because I've been wanting to do more Karen Rainey, and I wish I wouldn't have picked
Mhm.
this one because I know there's much better ones. But whatever, it's okay.
I feel
I
like it
won't hold it against her. Is the point? I'm not holding this against her. So.
was it 2021 or 2022 when they tried to do those bigger mass markets, the mass market max, one of those years. So this one came out in 2020. And
Mm-hmm.
I wonder when she actually finished writing it and turned it in. But anyway, that's
Well,
just
I have a
yeah,
regular
that's a cute
size,
mass
so
market size. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I it's the yellow. And
I
then like
know
when
it's
you
so
picked the yellow,
beautiful.
I was like, we ended up having double yellows, which was
Hmm.
really great. But
And
yeah,
honestly, like I like that cover much better than the new "A Lady for a Duke" cover actually.
oh yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm really bummed that I don't have the original. It's kind of
Hmm.
I like her writing, but I had to take notes to keep it. Girl sick.
I felt the same
Girl
way.
sick.
I was like I was listening to the audio and I was like, wait a minute, she's pregnant, and then I had to rewind it and I'm like, oh, wrong person.
It was so confusing. Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll keep pushing on here because the what did you like the least part of it? I know is going to be a whole lot. So I'll just say first here because it was so much. Because I'm going to combine two things because, like I said, I would like to move through this book as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm combining my number three with my number seven because number seven we usually talk about the plot, and my problem
Mhm.
is the worst part of this is the plot.
Yeah.
Like I, I just it's so confusing. And
It is, yeah.
Linda hit the nail on the head. Is I'm like I like kind of liked it in a way because I found it fascinating while it was happening, but the plot completely took over the romance and it didn't
Oh
leave any
yeah.
room for them to make bold moves because it's
Hmm.
like because this isn't a like here's the thing. because this isn't a historical romance written like 25 years ago, like if this had been written 25 years ago, they would have slept together already, or
Yeah.
like there would have been real stakes. And like because it was playing it safe and didn't want them to do more than kiss when there's a potential that we were going to find out they were siblings, which of course they're not, because we know they're
Yeah.
not. Karen, you're writing a romance, you're not actually going to have them be siblings. But because they don't actually transgress that way before we find out that it's
Hmm.
all okay, there didn't feel like really any stakes,
Yeah.
except they continued to break their hearts again and again and again.
Hmm.
And like, but not in a way that had yearning, like you said. So
Yeah.
the plot just felt badly paced to me, where every time we made any progress at all, like neither of them had really convinced me that they were in love enough, because they kept backing down from it. Like they were too scared to say anything so many times. So for me,
Yeah.
the worst part was the plot, because it didn't leave any room for either of them to be really bold. And
Hmm.
specifically, I mean the hero. So my word, I'll
Yeah.
blend into the. We'll talk about the hero next, but I yeah, it was, when I reflect on it now, I was like, what was that? Like it was cool in a soap opera way. Like that's why it was kind of fun while I was listening, because I was like, oh my God, how is it going to work out? Because again, I
Yeah.
know they're not related, but she also played it too safe then,
Hmm.
because she didn't have them do any more than kiss before we find out
Well, even
the
like
real truth. So
like I'm reading the City of Bones, The Mortal Instruments, which also has a fake incest plot.
yeah,
And that's a YA book, and it's like
yeah,
decades old, and it
yep,
is still, there's so much tension, and they
yeah,
don't even kiss. Like they don't even
yeah.
kiss.
They don't even kiss.
So I honestly, is it my turn? Because I just got to rant for a
Hmm.
minute. Okay.
Go ahead, honey. Go
So
on.
Linda was right. The writing is good. Like her writing is good, but nothing else in this worked for me. I think my
Yep.
least favorite part is the romance.
Yep.
Because it's a second chance romance, I was expecting either some flashbacks to show us how they fell in love, or some really good
Mm,
solid scenes to show us they're falling in love again, or maybe they're remembering,
yeah.
like, and I don't feel like we got either of those. We got that
Yeah.
little bit of yearning from both of their perspectives, but we didn't get any falling in love at all.
Yeah.
Like once they get
Mm,
together,
yeah.
I mean, once they meet up again, it's fine. And then they're trying to figure out if
Yeah.
they're actually siblings, and so like, whoa, we can't do anything. Like I totally agree with what you're saying, like playing it safe and all that stuff. But then I just did not care a single bit about this romance at all.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel
Yeah.
like
I
that's
have
why I
that
was
note
kind
too.
of
Hmm.
conflicted about 2 stars, because I don't think that the writing is bad, and there's nothing
Right.
in this that I find like really problematic, as in like on necessarily a story or
Right.
writing, like not even necessarily with like problematic issues in the world. Like I'm not talking about that. I mean, like the story is fine, but
Yeah.
it that's the problem. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing about it compels you to keep reading. Like I don't care about these characters at
Yeah.
all.
Yep.
So like
Hmm.
and like you were saying, when the fake incest or potential comes onto
Hmm.
play, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe
Right.
I'll be interested now, because
Yeah.
they're not actually brother and sister,
Right. Right. You're like,
But
ooh, who lied? Yeah. It's all about covering up for their
yeah,
parents. Like they were all just little tools for their parents for
but it just
stuff
felt,
like that. Yeah.
and that's one why I finally
Mm.
decided on two, because for a book that has
Yep.
on paper high stakes, it feels super low stakes. Like,
Yeah.
so anyway.
Well, I'll put more on there too. Because you're right. Yeah. I mean, I said the plot was the worst, but to me, why I said the plot is the worst is also was the romance, because there isn't any. So
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
it's all combined. It's all a knot. So yes, also what you said,
Yeah.
but I felt this part is that they were completely like, how did I word this? I made a note about where did I put this note? Where did I put this? I don't know. But what I was trying to articulate is that they were completely passive characters in their romance.
Yes.
So
Yes.
maybe there was some yearning, but they don't do anything about it, right?
Right.
And besides write a couple of letters, and
Hmm.
then he chooses not to read them because he's a little miffed about it. He's butthurt about it, and he doesn't read them. Well, yes, it's implied that one lady's hiding them from him. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. That lady, maybe she was doing it for his own good anyway, because what was he going to do about it if he read them? He doesn't seem like a guy who's going to do anything about it anyway. So she's just another person who's manipulating him.
Yeah.
Another person who's making choices for him. Like, everything was people making choices for them. And so what I wrote, I'm just skipping to this part too, what I wrote about question number 6, we always say, how do we feel about the romance? I said, their love was so conditional the
That's
entire time.
true.
It was
Yeah.
extremely conditional and over really low things. Like, in the beginning, this is why, like I said, why it potentially, I thought it could feel like an Again the Magic, because
Mm-hmm.
in Again the Magic, like, Matthew doesn't have a choice. He has to leave. He could be arrested. He could be put to death. He has no
Yeah.
power. He has no money. And Aline realizes that, and so she's like, he's never going to leave me unless I force him to go. Well, in this, there's even like, the family has to fake that part of it in this one, because they know she'll never tell him to leave, so they fake that part
Yeah.
to get it to happen. But then he just believes it so easily from, like, this or whatever, and he never like tries to check in and all that time, even though he has family there. Now, again, granted, we find out later that his family is in on it too, so there wasn't anyone he could check in on who was going to give him an honest answer about it. So there's nothing, there's no way to do that. But then when he comes back and sees her, she doesn't make him like work for that. Like, they
Yeah.
explain, oh, they were hiding the letters, and they're like, okay, we just love each other the way we did 5 years ago,
Right.
and that's it.
That we're just told.
Yeah,
We're told that
yeah,
they're soulmates, that they were so deeply in love, but we never actually see it. And
yeah,
like, and that's like the major failure of this book, other than everything. Like, I just feel like this book is such a mess. It's just such
yep,
a mess because
yep,
even on paper, the reason why she told him to leave was because, oh, they're siblings and you're getting too close. Like, okay, that's a plausible reason, but we know that's not really why she had him leave. But I never once felt like either one of them was gonna fight for the relationship. Like, that's why I don't mind a third act conflict of any type, because I want it to show me, is
right,
this person going to move heaven and earth to be with the other person? And I just did
right.
not believe that at all.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is where we can get into like how I rated the hero. I gave this guy a 3. He was pathetic. He
He
was
was.
pathetic here. Linda, I'll put your comment up in just a second because I have something to say about that. But like, it literally takes other people dog walking him back
Yeah.
into convincing him he loves her. And the fact that, like, he doesn't want to talk to her mom at the end part of it. He's like, no, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Like, God, he's just so pathetic at
He
the end of
is.
all of it. Like, I had forgiveness for him in a few points, but then once he just, the reason he tells her he has to leave is so stupid.
Hmm.
And when he doesn't tell her why right away, he keeps making her think she did something wrong after she has such a cruel brother and she's just been holding this place together. Like, God, he's just such a pussy. Pardon me, I'm so
He
sorry.
is though.
He was so like, it was like he started this at a solid like 6 for me because I was
Hmm.
like, he's coming back in. He's gonna, when he puts her brother down for
Yeah.
being mean to her, like, he does these things. But the way he treats her, he passively is back in love with her. He, you know, I like some of the hard conversations he has with his family and like those parts. But then he just gives it all up so easily again. When I'm
Hmm.
like, aren't you putting together how much these people have manipulated you? Don't you want to get to the
Yeah.
heart of it to figure it out? Because if you truly are siblings, yeah, that's not going to work. Like, get it, got it.
Yeah.
But why don't you like really try to figure it out first?
Hmm.
And instead of, have yourself declared, which would have her declared like, you're like, he was so frustrating. But I want to address this real quick. Like, I would have been very uncomfortable if they'd been intimate, which, Linda, I understand. The only part I would say here is that we as romance readers 1,000,000% know they are not siblings. Like, Linda, right? Like, they're not going to be siblings. This is a historical romance by Avon coming out. They are not related in any way. Okay, maybe they could have been cousins. I've read a few historical romances where they're cousins, and then like that would have been okay, it'd be fine. There's no way they're going to be related. So my point is like that would have given me so much more angst and angst for
Mm-hmm.
them if they had had sex first and then they find out, and I could understand him then freaking out and being like, oh my god, I have to leave, like, oh my god, and what if she's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Then him just shutting her out and running away would completely make more sense to me. Instead he just like freezes her out and goes, and it just makes him look like weak to me. So like
Yeah.
I understand why it would make you uncomfortable. It would make me uncomfortable too. It would give you squirmy angst in your stomach. But like we know they're not going to be related because this isn't a dark taboo romance. So like they're not going to be related. So if they had slept together and then he thinks they're related, oh my gosh, the horror of that would have been like, oh my gosh, I understand why he's freaking out and running away. But
Yeah.
he's only like kissed her, and like you just like she's a victim too. So anyway, I just had to get that out. Like he wasn't that great. I liked him better. Gave him a 5. Yeah, they're
Uh,
true, but
yeah,
well, they don't
probably.
know. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So I mean, you hadn't seen each other in 5 years. They're finally back together. You're adults. There's nobody in your way. I would have liked if they'd slept together first, and then the
Mm-hmm.
person who tells them is like, "Oh no, I wasn't quick enough to tell you." You just slept with your sister, like, oh, like holy crap! It would have been like, and we'd have more empathy for him too. Like I would have had more empathy for him too if he'd. So I would
Mm.
love an angsty book about rich, smart daughter of the 1800s, something like Downton Abbey with ha-
Is
happy
that
ever after.
happy ever
Yeah,
after? I don't
I
know.
don't know what you meant. And yeah, good stuff.
I'm
I
giving him a
mean,
2.
great. I love it. Yep, I
Honestly,
give him a
like,
3.
and that's kind of why this book and the characters piss me off is because
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care about them. I just
Yep.
literally don't care about them. So I can't have him
Yep.
as a 3 because I feel like that kind of tips the scales. And yeah, there was, and I'm just like, I, I don't know. He
Yeah.
wasn't like,
Yeah,
I guess
he
2 is
gets that
harsh.
for me because of how he treated her brother and that he was going to kick the brother
Yeah,
out. Like that stuff
yeah.
got it for me because that to me is like he's a decent person who's been being manipulated by stuff and like,
Hmm.
but he doesn't have romance hero quality. To me, when you're below 5, you're not romance quality hero at
Yeah,
all anymore. Like that part's gone. But he's not like the devil. He
yeah.
didn't
Maybe
rape
2 is a
anyone or hurt
little.
anyone. So,
I mean,
but you
you've
can
got a
totally
long
do too.
scale of
I
1 to
just mean
10.
like I know. I'm like that still puts him at a 30% rate. You know. I'm like
Yeah.
you know. Now my hold on. Let me see then. A happily ever after. Okay, love it. Love it. Um, Okay, so my redeeming quality though of it, sorry, my computer is freaking out here. However, if there was any redeeming quality at all for me, it was the heroine who is dealing with so much stuff. So
Yeah.
again, she feels all alone in this romance to me. So it's not like I think she has all the greatest everything. But to me, she was at like a 5 because again, there's not like romance swooniness in her, but
Yeah.
she was like a great woman to me on a
Hmm.
woman level. The way she's keeping it together, her compassion for her sister-in-law, the way that she has like, I mean, in my eyes, she didn't do anything wrong in this.
Yeah.
I just don't really believe her romance with Gordon at that point. But she's the one who kept writing the letters. She's the one who was holding it down. She's the one who doesn't really have the choices in this.
Hmm.
Even though she's in the wealthy family, like she has a shitty brother, um, and I feel like she got the best qualities of her parents that she could get, and um, so yeah, she was the redeeming quality of this to me, and I love that she finally got to find out who her mom really was. Like that was really beautiful. So that was the only really redeeming quality of this for me too. That this wasn't a complete dumpster fire. Was
Yeah.
her and her mom at the end of it.
Yeah,
So
I did like that with her and her mom. And I mean, and that's where again I just sort of feel like my complaints, I do feel like they're harsh on this one just because
yeah.
there's just nothing really memorable and all of the
Mm-mm.
things you're saying about her are true,
Mm-hmm.
but to me she also reads just very passive the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
and that makes her a 2 for me. Like, I don't think that she's
Sure.
terrible, but I'm like, why do I care about her? Like, what reason do I
Sure.
have to care about her? Like, she was
Yeah.
going through a lot, and I did like what happened to her, but it's like I just felt like I was kept at such a distance from her,
Yeah.
really,
Hmm.
So she's
Yeah.
like I would read this author again. I think that I would be
Yeah.
interested in reading like one that was way early in her career just to see the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
But sorry,
I
I'm jumping
almost
ahead of the
picked.
question.
No, but we can. I was literally going to ask that question next because I want to move on from this, and we already covered romance and plot. But I wish I'd picked Tapestry or one of those. I just wanted to pick one with an audio, and some of her oldest ones don't have
Yeah.
those. But a couple of things, like I'm glad I read this one 6 weeks ago. I did purposely read this one first because I knew
Hmm.
it would suffer even more if I tried to read it after the next
Yeah.
one. Glad I read it a long time ago. And I also read it while I was shopping and setting up for a baby shower and doing other things. So all of the things that I'm bitching about today are more so when I was writing my notes. I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I hated that, and I hated that, and I
Yeah.
hated that. But in general, when I was reading it, I gave this one like a 3.5 during the reading of it.
Hmm.
It's the when I'm filling out this thing, literally like page by the other notes where I'm like, oh my God, I hate everything about this document. What I just read.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. But yes, I'll absolutely read Karen Rainey again. I think she's one
Hmm.
of the greats in general. Like if people list people out. And I've read other books by her that were absolutely better than this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was up with this one, and I wonder if this is, and again, we can't know, rest in peace Karen Rainey, but I wonder if this was one where she had the idea and then built the story to fit the idea,
Hmm.
and it just, to make it work, she had to make more passive characters to make her idea work,
Yeah. I
and that just falls apart then. Like, you can't do that in romance. The
mhm.
couples got to be good.
I mean, I do feel like 2020 is early, probably more so like 2021, 2022, where I started to notice just a big change in how historical specifically were written. There were no
Mm,
more like chances or risks or big, like even the idea of having potential incest in this one, I think is really huge for the time. But the rest of it still feels very, very safe. And that, and I'm not asking for like bombs or fires or whatever, but it's all about like the character's interiority. And it
right.
just didn't really feel like they were as angsty as I think this had potential for them to be, you know?
Yeah. I kept waiting for the brother to do some serious groveling and redeem himself. What a jerk. I hate
Mm.
tapestry. Oh, well, that's sad to hear. My one of my patrons, Megan, gifted me one of her copies of Tapestry, so I really want to try it at some point. But I mean, it'll be a while if ever that we do Karen again for this book club. But I kind of wish
Yeah.
I had picked an older one for it because I just, that's something, if we're gonna have a bonkers one,
Yeah.
I'd rather it be one from the 80s or something
It's
because
got to
then
be
at
a
least
full
it's
send
like,
bonkers. You can't just
right,
like
like the pirate one. It's like, well, at least we were with pirates,
yeah.
or the one where it's like if he's undercover as a man, let it be that only the hero notices, or like a thing
And
happens
I
with
I
something
feel
like
like, and this is gonna probably ruffle some feathers, so don't cancel me, okay? But I feel like I debated about saying this and then we
we're
should
safe
move
here.
on.
We're
But
safe.
if once I wish we had been in their heads a little more when they find out that they're brother and sister. Because it's not like you can just turn off those feelings
Oh,
right away,
absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
don't have to act on it, but they could have shown like grief of what could have been, or like another layer
Exactly.
of that of grief of like now
Yes.
we really can never be together, and like the heartbreak and loss, and instead they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're my sister, let's move on, like
Yeah.
and not that
Mm-hmm.
they exactly like moved on, but it like we didn't get to feel
Yeah.
like, because it is such a taboo thing, like I don't think that maybe she was
Right.
allowed or even wanted to
Oh
get
yeah.
into those messy areas, but that would have made it feel more like
Well, right.
this was
It's
a
like you
real
said.
love and they're
Yeah.
grieving that it can never be, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's exactly what you said. It wasn't a full send. So
Yeah.
why even try to mail it? Oh, look at
Yeah.
me right there. Because again, to make the parallel of, I'm like, if this was in a dark romance setting, there is a potential that they say F it and are
Yeah. Yeah,
together
that's
anyway.
true. Yeah.
And maybe you end up finding out that you're not really related later on, but you've already decided, screw it, I didn't care either way. So you've
Hmm.
decided to go with the taboo. But in a dark romance, you do what you said. You're in their head and you feel the torture. And
Yeah.
that's what makes that like whatever, which again, not everyone's going to want to read that, which is
Yeah.
why that is denoted as a taboo dark romance story because
Hmm.
people don't all want to go in that.
And
And
that's
this, it's kind of like, I was like, is that actually what the storyline is when I was reading this? Because you
yeah.
would not know that from this blurb that that's
I
what
know.
this is.
Like I was shocked. I was like, are we serious?
We did. We just started. Anyway, we got to
But
move on from this one.
that's the thing is why I feel like upset about it is because her writing
Yeah,
feels weak then because she's
yeah,
just relying on the societal constraints that exist in our head that that's a bad thing.
hmm,
And she doesn't
yeah,
actually show us like what would that actually feel like? These people believed they were soulmates, they were deeply in love, and then all of a sudden,
yeah.
like I don't know.
Well, she's probably maybe not expecting ladies like us who've also read Pam Godwin or people to be like, no, no, go back to that. I want to
Yeah.
analyze what's in your head. I mean, I don't know, but anyway,
Yeah.
okay, we got to move on. We gave that book too much of our time because we got to talk about this one now. Because
Okay.
I gotta tell everybody. Okay, I gotta tell y'all a couple things. Number one, I finished this book on Sunday when I had a migraine. Okay, which wasn't my smartest move because I was crying the whole time. Well, I had a migraine, which was awful. It was awful. And then today I was writing my notes, and it's like the third day of my period, and I'm bawling while I'm writing the notes. So I won't bury the lead for anyone when I tell you that this was a 6-star book for me, and I cried
Yay.
like the whole
I knew it
time.
would be. I knew it would
I
be. I'm so
know.
happy.
Yes, I know. Which, if people don't know, this is the. I mean, I've given every book I've read by Alexis Hall 6 stars, which is to say two that I've read by him 6 stars. So I wasn't that surprised that I did because his writing is fantastic and just
Hmm.
tries to rip you into pieces. But oops, oh no, what am I doing? Two things. Come back, comments. There we go. Um, let's see the shock effect that doesn't see it coming. Oh, you're talking about the yes, yeah. But anyway, did anyone else read A Lady for a Duke? Because let's talk about this, which has been a favorite of Crystal's for a really long time.
Hmm.
So we're
I
waiting for this.
didn't I didn't get it fully reread. I started it
Yeah,
and I only got about 15% in, but
yeah,
even that and I did like thumb through it and look at my review just to kind of remember the big points. Even just that makes me feel like just the most beautiful ache. Like I just adore that book. It's a 6-star read for me. It's one of my favorites
it's
ever.
so
I think
good.
it is so incredibly romantic and just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful romance. I almost said love story, but it's a romance. But the
Yeah,
love that they have is just so powerful.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. So anyway, my point is, y'all, this one's gonna be really hard for Jen to talk about today because I haven't really like processed how to talk about it yet. So yeah, we'll try. I'll try my best. But yeah, Linda, I did it. I skipped over it while you were talking, but she gave it 4 stars the first time, and she gave it 5 stars this time. So that's a question, Linda. What did you like better this time? I'd love to know
Yeah,
that.
that's a good question.
Because wow, okay. Well, I'll go through my own questions to help. The talking about the best part for me, which I'm putting aside now, I'm going through the questions. I'm putting aside all the other things I'm going to get to because I like all of those things. The best part, aside from the hero, the heroine, the romance, the plot, everything, is the side characters in this were
Hmm.
fantastic. Um, the sister-in-law, the brother, the other sister, they're all wonderful supporting characters, which is something that Alexis Hall does great in his other stories too. Um, but just speaking like serious truth to people when they need to hear it was just so good. Like there's a few conversations particularly that Viola's sister-in-law was having with her that were just like really hard to hear, you could tell, for
Yeah.
Viola, because it's just so like really challenging her to be vulnerable with, you know,
Hmm.
really tough things, but being like if but her sister-in-law knowing that like if you will be vulnerable like this, you could literally have everything. Like,
Hmm.
and knowing that for her and being like if you will
I'm getting chills.
do that, I know. If you will do this, you could have all of it. And of course, Viola doesn't think that she can, but it's really just the thing of like not being able to imagine that anyone could accept you. So I understand why Viola feels that way, but her sister-in-law is just like, you got to do this, and also because of the state that Justin is in. Gosh, Justin.
I know. I know.
It's you really like Viola just really has to be brave and do that for him too, because it's honestly pretty cruel how he's been left. And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing that you struggle with like the first half of the book is that I really understood like Justin's side of it for a good part of it where I'm like,
Mhm.
you have to help this man, like you need to help him.
Yeah.
But once Viola starts like sharing what she's been through and like how she had to take her like chance at living,
Yeah.
you understand that. But you know, which of course Justin gets there too, but that's yeah, it's just crazy. Okay, hold on, let me see what Linda. She said, I think it's really two love stories on this read. They loved each other as friends and then fell in love again, but I think she always loved him in a romantic sense. Yes. So that was a huge thing that um guys, this is gonna be really, really hard. So just deal with it, okay? Um I cannot imagine losing my best friend. I can't imagine losing my best friend. So that's what I mean where like I feel for Justin so much. And when he is like initially so like upset, I'm not upset with him, you know, because he's just like, why couldn't I be a part of this?
Yeah.
Is really
Yeah.
what the hurt is. It's not an accusatory kind of hurt, but that's how Viola takes it,
Hmm.
is as an accusatory kind of like, well, I didn't have a choice in that. I just had to do what I did, which is the truth as well. Like
Yeah.
it's not a lie or anything, but it's also like he was suffering. It's just that during that time that Viola's beginning her new self, beginning her new life, it's not about Justin. And she can take the um, time to worry about him. But she does wait quite a while to check in. And again, that's where the part where I'm talking about the best part, her sister in law being like, it's time now. Like,
Yeah.
you need to do
And
this. So,
I feel like if I can just kind of
yep, go for it. I
so
can literally talk forever. So you take your turn now.
the the thing that I love, there are two things that one I'm impressed with the I don't want to say technical ability because that implies like where he puts commas, but the technical way he has built this story where you feel equally that Viola she couldn't do that. You know, she had to leave him in suffering and was while at the same
Mm-hmm.
time feeling so deeply empathetic with Justin. And
Yeah.
And the number one thing that I love that I've, after all these years of making content, it seems the more that I do this and read romance and talk about it, the more rare a book like this is, where the love feels so pure that you know
Hmm.
without a doubt that he loves her and she loves him for who that person is, not for how they look,
Hmm.
not for any other reason. They love the heart and soul of that person. And I feel
Yeah.
like that is such a hard thing to get to come across, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And it's just done so beautifully. Like the quiet intimate scenes, not even like the sex scenes, but the quiet intimate scenes. And I think they're intertwined. Like that's another thing in here, is that
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of the times in the intimacy, they're sharing, like they're realizing things about each other, they're confessing things to one another, and it's just so beautiful and powerful. And it just, I just think this is one of the most rare books I've ever read. And even though this is clearly a win for queer romance, like it's beautifully powerful in that
Oh
way,
yeah.
every
Yeah.
single person can relate to wanting to
Oh yeah.
feel seen and loved for who you are and not what you
Hmm.
look like or not what you do. And that's how Justin sees Viola. And I just feel like this is
Oh yeah.
literally one of the best books I've ever read, and probably
Hmm.
top three romances I've ever read. I just
Oh
feel like
yeah.
it is
Well,
incredible.
I want to be clear, like, it's not that this shouldn't be listed as a queer romance, because
Hmm.
it is. It absolutely is. But like, you truly like forget about that
Yeah,
for big chunks of this book. Like, you absolutely forget about that because it's just two people so deeply in love. And
hmm,
what's the best part of it, like, so many times, especially, okay, backing up here, when when Justin goes to London then to pursue Viola now, because that's what he's doing. His sister's getting a season, but he's there to pursue Viola now, because what clicks in his head, which is awesome, is he's like, oh my god, my best friend is the love of my life. And my best
yeah,
friend is alive. And my best friend is a woman. And I can marry my best friend. Like, all those
yeah,
things have clicked in Justin's head.
yeah,
So honestly, his best friend being a woman is the best thing that's ever happened to Justin. He needs
hmm,
to convince Viola of that, because she's not there. She sees this as like, I'm a woman and I'm just going to survive as a woman and not impose myself on anyone. And that's
yeah,
fine. Like, literally, she's like, I just want to live as a woman. That's it. I'm not expecting anything else. This is a win. I'm alive. I'm a woman. That's all I need to be. I'll be a companion. I'll be whatever. That's fine. Which would be a win for her. But everybody else who loves her knows that there's more to win in this scenario.
yeah, yeah.
We do. And she deserves that. And so, sorry, I should see what other people want to say.
Oh
Her
yeah.
need to be herself was so strong. Yes. Oh, of
It's so
course.
beautiful.
Steadily.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh, I hope you love
You've got
it.
to. You've
You've
got
got
to.
to read
I'm
it.
not even done, girl. I'm not even done. Just wait. We're not done. And so what I love though is that, like, yes, I understand why after that, like, kind of confrontation, which isn't even fully a confrontation, it's just Justin needs to just work through and absorb, 2 years of like grief and like the way he kind of let things fall apart and the way all this stuff has happened. He needs to like process that. And Viola's just like, nope, this is just as bad as I thought it would be. I've absolutely destroyed everything. Like, we need to get out of here. And her sister-in-law is like, okay, we'll go, okay, bye. But when Justin comes to London, in my opinion, it's very clear he's there to convince her,
Hmm.
we're perfect. This is perfect. There's no problems. In fact, again, you being a woman is the best stuff. Is the best because like, now we could literally be together forever. This is the best thing ever. Not only is my best friend alive with all of the history we've ever had, but you're a woman and I can marry you and have a family with you. And what are
Hmm.
you talking about? Like, there's no problem
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
know,
a
I
millionaire
know.
and I can buy anything we want. Like, I love that. Love that part. So, anyway, I just love that. And we don't have the time to quote every wonderful quote and all the beautiful things. But now the rest of the half of the book is just every opportunity Justin has to prove that like we should be together. That's what the rest of the book is.
Oh
And
my gosh.
Viola just can't quite picture it. Um, But that's what
And
Justin spends the rest of the book wooing her, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
I feel like it's
So,
also so beautifully done how Viola is, like it's interesting to me that she fully embraces being a woman and she feels like in society she knows what her role is, and so even when she's hesitant about marrying Justin because I can't give you an heir, that's not possible, she's still like playing into that role. Like she is who she is. Viola is a woman, like because she's doing that self-sacrificing thing where she's like, well,
yep.
you can't have a full life if you marry me. And it just like it's details like that that just make me just want to cry. Like I just
Hmm.
everything feels so real. It's so
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did want to. I'll push through a couple of these because I won't say there's honestly only one like little section that's the least favorite part, and I wonder if you can guess what it is. If you remember, there's a part that is the
I
least.
don't know the specific
Okay,
part,
it's been a long
but
time. It has
I
absolutely nothing to do with them. It's the specific part. That's
okay,
just I was like,
I
why?
do feel like it's long. Like if I have a criticism of this book and it doesn't bother me because I
Oh
could
no,
read
that's
every
fine.
single page of it, but it does feel like the middle does kind of lag a little bit
Oh,
in
that's fine.
pacing.
Oh no, it was beautiful. The only reason it was too long is because I had a migraine and it was taking too many days to get through it. But no, it's the third act part with the kidnapping and the brothel and the
Okay, yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and the point where that like Viola's able to fight the guy off, or
Yeah.
which great, she's able to skill. The
I
part
forgot
where his
about that.
sister gets
Yeah.
kidnapped. Literally, I know it's supposed to lead them to the place where he's gonna buy it for them, and he's like, I can buy us whatever we need. I can buy us children if we want them, like all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was like, really, how many pages is this part of the plot taking? Like, I just didn't like that part.
Yeah.
So
No, that's
I was
I
like, this
agree.
is not necessary. Like, he can literally just because of how Alexis Hall was doing the story, like literally someone could have just told Justin, like,
Mhm.
hey, you can adopt kids.
I
That's the
know,
thing.
right?
And he could have been like, hey, Vale, go kick some out of the orphanage, like the top stuff. Why don't you go find some other queer kids and we'll adopt them and bring them home? Like, why don't you do that? We'll be like, what is that? Like, we'll be like Howl's Moving Castle or something by the
Yeah.
sea or something like that. So yeah, I used to get my heart. So really, but it's the smallest of critiques. It's
Yeah.
fine. I also just because it was so long. Like he was arguing with the guy in the brothel over like, you're gonna suck my dick here before I'm gonna tell you where your tits are in. And I was like, are you serious right now?
I
And then like
actually
Viola in her
completely
head, she's
forgot
making fun
about
of
that
it.
ending until you mentioned it. I was like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the
I
one dude
forgot.
was like, yeah, at the brothel. And then it just led to Viola being like, well, he doesn't know it, but he does. It's just not these people. And I was like, okay, we don't break the scene reminding people that Viola has male parts and we're doing it for this guy. Like,
Right,
I don't
right.
need to be
Yeah.
reminded about Viola's anatomy for this twerp. Like, it just didn't, I don't know. Alexis Hall, you are perfect, sir, but that could have been cut from the book. Okay,
I
especially
agree.
because
Yeah.
it's already 450 pages. And I was like, that is literally, it was like so long. Anyway, if we have a least part, that's the least part. But
Yeah, I would definitely
anyway,
agree. It seems
but
very inessential.
it doesn't take away a single bit of my feeling for it otherwise. Oh, my mommy's so cute. She just said Dolly Parton died. I was like, I know, Mom. I've been crying about it
Oh,
all
I know.
day.
So sad.
Anyway, skipping through, which we already know because the hero and the heroine are obviously tens. Do we even
Yeah.
need to say that?
I
So let's keep going.
absolute tens.
The romance, it's amazing. We
10 plus.
know.
It's an
Um,
11 on a scale of 1 to 10.
it's
Turn it
so
up to an
yeah, it's
11.
so good. I wrote it has pining, longing, lots of talking through big feelings. It's emotional. It's everything. Like literally, I
Yeah.
wrote it's everything. Like there's like nothing to talk through there. And then
Oh, so good.
to talk on this though, minus the part that I just said that I'm like, why does this plot exist? Part
Yeah.
I did really like how this was laid out. Like this is like how do I say this? I love that this started with them showing up there, and I like how even though this was kind of supposed to be set up as the trope of like the grumpy duke or something like that,
Yeah.
he never felt like a
Yeah.
grumpy duke. Is very clear that it was like a grief, and the way he would, it was clear this was mourning his friend. This wasn't
Yeah.
just like mourning the war or mourning like his injury. When it becomes so clear that the only thing he's sad about is his friend, it's like this dawning horror to the whole thing. And it's clear too that as he's starting to like fall for Viola, it's as he's spending more time with her, he's like, oh my God, you're the same person. It's so good. Like
It's
it's
so good.
so good.
I'm sad I didn't read it again, but I didn't reread it
Oh,
all the way. I want to keep
you
going.
should.
It's so
You
good.
should. It's so good. Like we don't even have enough time. I could just keep crying about it. Like it's so
Mhm.
great, you guys. But here's the question for you. Would you read some other books by them?
Honestly, like I know you've been trying to get me to read more of his. I have his new book. I had an arc of that I'm
I
tempted to
know.
read, but I'm so this is a book that to me is perfect. I think this is a
Mm,
perfect book in just about every way. And
mm-hmm.
I'm and it was the first book I've read by him, and I'm so afraid that nothing's going to compare. So I definitely would, but
Mm,
I don't know. I'd have to really
right,
be in the right mood for it because
right.
I feel like it's it's just perfect. I don't want to mess it up. But I am pretty curious with his other books, but probably mostly his historicals. I don't know.
Yeah. What's interesting though, and this is what I'll say, is that the main reason that I didn't read this book is
Hmm.
because I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Because For Real is in what I mean was in for a long time was in my top 10 books of all time.
Hmm.
I've read books now that have kind of usurped it at this point, but when this one came out and everyone, I don't know, in my opinion, a lot of people made this like a pillar of like books to read. And honestly, if you didn't love it so much, I would just have blown it off
Yeah.
altogether in a lot of ways because I'm like, I don't know. I was just suspicious of like why people would like it so much because I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you don't hold up other books like this. Like, why this one?
Hmm.
Um, and I'm sad it took me so long to read it because I really did love so much about it. But I will say, like, this quality of writing where there's so many layers to each action and word that exists in his older things too.
Yeah.
Um, and in For Real, though, it is more like raw in how it is because it's not a historical. It's true, it's not. I reread that one just at Christmas time is when I reread that one, and
Hmm.
I mean, I still cried almost all the time I read that one
Yeah.
too. So because it's that same type of thing that you get where like it's these characters that are like hollowed out somehow,
Yeah.
and it's not just that their love like fills them back up, it's that in coming to know and be known by the other person they like fill each other
Yeah.
back up again,
Yeah.
and that's what he does really well. And part of the reason why like I just don't think I can read Never After is I if he when he does this type of stuff in his books, I can't read one where they wouldn't be happy at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the fact that
That's
he
the
wrote
main
one called
reason why I
Never
haven't.
After, I know. Like if he did this and someone died at the end of it, bury me 10 feet down. Like, no, I only survived that because it's all good. But
Hmm.
yes,
Yeah.
I hope you do, girl. Please read this. It's so good.
Yeah.
I think I might be nervous about reading other books. Yeah, yeah. And I want to try some of his other historical. Like he has some other contemporaries too. Like I know he has
Hmm.
some sapphic romances. I would be willing to read after reading both a like gay romance that he's done and one with a trans heroine. Like I would try reading one of his sapphic romances too. it wasn't for this talk, I would have never picked up Mr. Yeah, it's so good. I'm telling you, like, the way he writes his romance, like, you don't even, and because it's a historical, it actually lends to the fact that there's like euphemism for things. Like, I know that
Yeah.
sounds so weird, but it's not done in a way where you're like you're trying to hide something, which I mean she is, but it's the way that it's done. You just, it doesn't feel, I don't know. It doesn't feel political or feel preachy. It is survival. It
Mhm.
is her identity. Like, that
It
just
doesn't
sounds
feel, I
so
think
like, it
what
literally
I
just
think you're trying to
feels
say is
beautiful.
it doesn't feel performative at all. Like it
Yes.
feels honest in the
So,
best and most beautiful way.
yeah.
And that's also something that I feel like is rare. Like there is no performance
Yes.
here. It's just honest. There's some like
Yes.
not revealing things right away to
Yeah.
protect yourself, but that
Mhm.
also feels honest to the time and to the characters, you know, like
Mhm. Mhm.
I just love it.
Which, I mean, to be clear, I that is what I meant by like reading for stories is very important. Obviously,
Mhm.
everyone, I feel that way. Okay, like I read every month lately. Half of my TBR is gay romance. Okay, I promise I read a lot, but it's also the like I feel like attitude that people had in when this book came out, where it's like you have to be reading this, and
Yeah.
will always say. I want stories that make me want to read them. I don't want to be told what to read. Like, the reason I'm sucked into this world is because I love that. And this is the type of story that I will now always just be like, this was just so romantic because it feels
Gosh,
authentic.
so romantic.
And
I just
and
cannot ever
I
get
know,
over
and
it.
oh, it's just so beautiful. So
Mhm.
that's the type of thing that you just can't find everywhere these days.
It's
And
so
but
rare. It's
Alexis is so
so
good.
rare.
Yeah,
Gosh.
like I'm genuinely like trying to think of other ones that do this.
Mhm.
And so the one that's coming to mind. And now I 100% feel this way. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. You ready? You and Me. You have to read You and Me. Like,
Mhm.
it's this. It's this. It's this. You and Me is this. Um, but I'm trying to think of other, like, I know there's others that I have read too, but it's just hard because so many other authors. It's that like really flowery way where it feels and I don't even think they're being performative. That might just be their style, but it feels
Yeah.
like it's not authentic to the characters. Like,
Yeah.
this is who like Justin is, how he talks. So when he's trying to convince her of that and is just like weaving these fantastical futures out, you're just like, oh my god, that's so great. The other one who does it, sorry, one other comparison in a tragic way is like Kate C. Wells. I feel like writes like this too
Yeah.
in tragedy. Like, oh my gosh, Silent Flames felt like this in the opposite way,
In a
but in a good
very
way too. In the
yeah,
agony part of it, like the agony, you feel it.
like in a rough way too.
Oh,
Like
yes, yeah.
this feels like the
That's
best
not romantic,
parts
is it?
of romance, you know? Like and
Yeah.
the yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The very, I'll wrap this up in a sec. The very specific scene I always think that's burned in my memory of that one is the one where he looks at them in the bed and he's thinking, what is wrong with me that I
Yeah.
would throw all of this away?
And
Like,
I
what's broken about me? Like, that kind of writing where you just like, I felt sick. Like, I felt sick.
yeah.
Whereas this one makes you feel like you could like fly, right? Like when an author
Mhm.
makes you feel it in you.
And
Anyway,
it
she's someone who
like
does that too.
and with this one too, it like hits those like sensitive spots that I think
Hmm.
we've also felt in A Lady for a Duke, where Viola, like, she feels exposed in a very sensitive spot and she doesn't, like, it's just so relatable. And the way that Justin responds to that with nothing but acceptance and love, and I just love it so much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I loved
let's.
Silent Flames too. It was 5 stars for me
Yes,
too. But, and it has
yeah,
that same vibe of authenticity and like raw emotion.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and the other piece is like bold in ways that other people wouldn't like do,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm
For
just
sure. For sure.
straight up in contemporary writing, like people don't write like Kate C. Wells. Like
No.
they don't do that,
Nope.
you know, like that is
Yeah.
because she doesn't care. Well, of course she wants people to read her books, but I feel like she's like, this is a story that I'm writing, because she's written some where she does that same thing and I've hated them,
Yeah.
but I still keep buying her books because when it pays off, those are my 6-star books when it pays off. So,
So true. Yeah.
all right, everyone, just to wrap up for our fall session, we picked our books, and the book that I picked was Moon Shadow by Susan Wiggs, which
That's a gorgeous cover.
I know this is the old cover of it, and I didn't even realize I have read a Susan Wiggs before. I read The Charm School, which is a much newer book. This one is from '89, so
That's
older
exciting.
than me. I know. And Crystal, what did you pick?
I picked a one by Mira Platt. Is it called The Starlight Duke?
Yes, I took a picture.
Yeah, the Starlight and
Okay,
the Duke, not the Starlight Duke. It's on
yes,
KU. Sorry for the glare.
it's okay. By Mira Platt.
Yeah, it's on KU and it has an audio available too. So,
Yeah. So those will be our two books. I will
yeah.
do a post about it soon. But again, thank you to everybody who joined us today. I know
Yeah.
this was a different time, but this one worked out. And if you rewatched it, again, make sure you leave your thoughts. I'll make sure to
Yeah.
interact with you there. And we'll see you next time. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.